Good evening. What is happening, Ramblers? You will notice that is not the intro for football therapy, and I'll give you just a little explanation as to why. So, Jim sets all this up for us on our little StreamYard, where we go on to, and I've come on about 10 minutes ago because I've been with the kids. It's my birthday today, everybody. So I've been celebrating with the family, smashing cake down my face. Forgot my water again. Hopefully my wife will hear that and drop one off for me, but never mind if she doesn't. We're here to do football therapy today, and the intro isn't set up, so that's the after party, and that's something that we're looking forward to on the Ramble. It's going to be a show after the game at Bramall Lane when we've won, so we don't know how many of those we're going to get this season, but that's just a little sneak preview for you, a little bit of an exclusive. I'm sure Jim will be delighted when he learns that we've gone through and shown that straight away. Now, as a result of that as well, we've got a little bit of some of the videos are missing. It's all set up for something slightly different. So I'm just going to welcome in my first guest. It's George Motson, the man on the mic. Do you want to sing your song for us, George, or not?
I'd rather not, mate.
Okay, mate. Right, we'll leave it off then, because George Motson, the man on the mic, he's our man for the watch along. He's the one who talks us through all the games, our expert pundit here on the Blades Ramble, and he's joining me tonight for a bit of football therapy, looking at the biggest rivalries in football with the Sheffield derby on the horizon on Sunday. Me and George will be there together, enjoying the game, hopefully. Fingers crossed we enjoy the game. Certainly the atmosphere will be quite good, I hope, and certainly there'll be a few bevies sunk afterwards with a few of our pals, Rich and Brett as well, and a few others. So that'll be great fun, I'm sure. Unluckily for this man, his intro is still very much alive and kicking, and certainly my lad Ronnie loves this intro, so we're going to play it for him. All right, guys?
Yeah, that's Bally.
Here he is. It's Bald Lee with his new wallpaper.
Never gets old, does it?
Unbelievable. As if his missus let him put that up behind him. Absolute pro.
How
are you, Lee? You well, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks very much. Just not wearing a wig this week, so I'll just leave it as it is, even though it's grown a little bit. I've got to get it off.
Yeah, well, it's still looking good, mate. I'm sure it takes ages to sort out in the morning. No, so boys, we've gone with a bit of a theme based on what's happening at the weekend for our club, Sheffield United. Obviously, taking on Wednesday at Hillsborough away from home. No wins for them this season at home. I'm not going to ask you for score predictions just now. We might do that later on with Statman Jack, our Ramblers guest, who's going to come and do the scores for them. I think they're doing quite well at the minute, and we'll go through that in a bit. But he's got a lot to live up to as the stat man. That I can see. I can see he's just appeared as well. So bless him. He'll be there a while. But anyway, we're going to look at some of the rivalries across this great nation, also including Scotland as well. Looking at some of the big rivalries, seeing which ones we think were the biggest. We're going to go for a top 10. We're going to try to name them as well, aren't we? So that should be quite good. Now, what I'd like to do is hand over to Lee. What Lee's going to do is he's going to read out some of the derbies that are available for selection. What we want to hear from you guys is whether we're missing one that's an obvious one that we might be able to add into the top 10. Oh, hello. That's changed again. This is doing it by itself now, unless Jimmy's on somewhere doing something with it. It's just swapped the format as well. Never mind. Anyway, there we go. I think that wasn't me either. So yeah, I think Jimmy might have logged on. Anyway, right, guys. Lee, do you want to start us off by telling us a few of the derbies that we're going to be looking at today?
So there's some of the big ones. So we've got things like Rangers, Celtic, Sunderland, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United, but then also some smaller ones: Mansfield, Chesterfield, Chester, Wrexham, MK Dons, Wimbledon. So we've got quite a few to go through. About 20, I think we've got that we've narrowed it down to, and we're going to try and pick a top 10 and then see what gets left out. So how many do you want to do at a time? Do you want to go one at a time, or do you want to go a batch at a time?
I think we go. Oh, I think we're going to have to. Well, should we do in blocks of 5? Should we see if we can do blocks of 5 and say which ones we think are going to sneak into the top 10? Then the commenters and the viewers will be able to tell us whether they think it's we got it all wrong or we got it all right or not. So we'll do 10 and then I'll do some comments and we'll come and do the next 10. Go on.
Right. Well, just to let you know, lads, I have sent you through the list on your phones if you've got WhatsApp open, so you should be able to see what the list is.
Yeah.
So the first 5 we've got Rangers v Celtic, Sunderland v Newcastle, Liverpool v Man United, Liverpool v Everton, and Man United v Man City.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to start us off then, and I know George, being a bit of a Rangers fan as well, he's going to agree with me here. I think the Old Firm is definitely a top 5 derby. I know it transcends football in many ways, and we're not going to get into the politics or religion of that particular fixture and what it means to the fans. But what we are going to say is it's a pretty fierce occasion. The atmosphere is always really good. It's had quite its fair share of incident over the years. George, do you know any? Can you shed any more light on stuff like that or not?
I'll try and keep out of that in case anyone watches this and then slags me off for it. But I know
it's had issues on it where fans have been barred and things like that.
Yeah, I know a couple of people go, and the fans, especially when they're like playing at Hampden, when it's a cup semi-final or final, they'll march through streets all together and they end up somehow meeting on a corner. Police have to intercept it, and I know a lot of rivals are probably like that, but this one's for me it's a fierce rival. It's hatred. I know you said they keep politics out in it. The religion does play a part up there. Yeah. It's one where both sets of fans cannot stand each other at all. They can have best mates. They can be best mates. Could be you could have a Rangers and Celtic fan be best mates. On the day they hate each other and can't stand each other, so they'll be best mates up until the day, and then it's like they've never known each other. And we want to kick 10 balls of crap out of each other.
I think the thing about this one as well is that there's often a more dominant side in a derby situation who have usually had more success than the other. And I think this one's right. It's literally it's nearly equal, isn't it, in terms of overall title? Clearly the two dominant sides in Scotland by a long way. And I think for me, it's just enormous because they've sort of swapped positions quite a few times, but they are nearly always the top 2. Aberdeen had their little go at it, didn't they, at one point? And Hibs a few years ago
tried to go this year, but
Hearts are. I think both clubs are in a little bit of a transition in terms of their teams, aren't they? A little bit, and that Hearts are trying to, obviously trying to take advantage of that this year. But it's nearly always Rangers or Celtic, 2 juggernaut clubs, massive attendances, huge backstories going a long way back with all of this. And I think that they're a shoo-in for the top 10. Are we all agreed? Would we agree?
I put it down as my top 1. Like I say, I could be biased on it, but I just think it's that.
Let's get onto that. Let's get onto that in a bit, mate. So we'll get onto that. I think it's a definite contender. I think you're right. Lee, what was the second one?
Well, just going on about the Rangers Celtic, Paul, the actual wins are 171 each. So you bang on. 171 each with 106 draws.
Wow.
Nice.
Literally. That is just incredible. The chances of that are so small, aren't they?
Especially coming onto this stream as well, doing, it could have been anything. And for them to both be equal, and we're trying to argue if they're in a top 10 or not. And you've got them both equal. I think
it's pretty level.
It's a perfect argument for it.
I appreciate Lee.
So the next one,
just backing us all up, boys. That's good. Well done.
Well, this one's literally the same. So this one's the Tyne-Wear derby, the Sunderland versus Newcastle game, and the stats on this one are 53-54 to Newcastle.
See, I think from our generation, and certainly George's generation, and I will not say me and you are quite the same, Lee, but I think that there was a period where I think Sunderland may have just been ahead in the late 90s, would it be?
Yeah.
With Kevin
Yeah.
Phillips and Niall Quinn, and they had a really good setup there, didn't they, under Peter Reid? It's generally been Newcastle that's been the more dominant side certainly my experience, and I imagine in yours as well, Jord.
Yeah.
But I know how fierce that rivalry is.
And they both had trouble where they both had to go down to, obviously Sunderland went down to League One more or late, but at more recent times. But Newcastle, obviously, they had their trouble, didn't they, under Mike Ashley, where they had to go down to Championship. Yeah, I think they instantly got back up there, but they had to rebuild themselves again. So both teams have dropped out at Premier League and had to rebuild themselves. Sunderland probably took a little bit longer than they wanted and expected, but they made it back there. And it's, again, growing up watching football and watching like Premier League years and on Sky Sports, them two were always a big rivalry in 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, like I said, they've exchanged punches at the same level a few times. Sunderland are a juggernaut of a club. I'd say, for me, considering the size of the club, they've been a little bit of an underachieving club in my lifetime. Simply because I think even in League One, they'd be rocking 40,000, wouldn't they, in the stadium, which is unheard of, really. Yeah. And even at Championship level, they're at least 10 to 15,000 higher gates than everybody else in the league. So they're obviously got huge potential and built the stadium alight, which is quite an impressive stadium and a new stadium. When was it Roker Park before that?
Yeah, it was Roker Park, yeah.
And so they're obviously a big side. Probably more, did they have more of a spell when you were a bit younger, Lee? Maybe Sunderland. I think they were.
Sunderland. No, it was more Newcastle when I were a bit younger with Keegan and people like that. But my friend's a season ticket holder up there, lives up there, and we visit. We did do quite often, and it's a tense situation up there. It's a place. Sunderland's only got about 70,000 people in it, yet they've got a stadium with 40+ thousand. It's religion there, but football is the religion.
Yeah.
And the actual, I wouldn't say hatred, but it's a big rivalry, massive rivalry.
Yeah.
And I do drop on the red and white side of that one, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's for me, it's almost a nailed on top 10. Boys, we agree.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember more recently as well? I think they played them in FA Cup. Was it last year or year before? And I think at Sunderland, there were a Newcastle fan working there, and they decorated the away end in like Newcastle's colours or were it opposite grounds, whichever way, I can't remember. And I know it caused absolute uproar because, if you can imagine United and Wednesday playing, and we had a Wednesday fan working at Bramall Lane, and they decorated whichever, a platinum suite in blue and white with Wednesday badge. Everyone's going to be fuming, aren't they? So it's even, it's stuff like that. It's a proper rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah. And the Blades' recent history against those teams is we'll not be mentioning, but it hasn't been great, has it? But boys, top 10. So I think we need, what's the third one, Lee?
It's Liverpool, Man United, the two most successful teams in England.
Would you say that's bigger than? Would you say that's? It's an odd one, but I'd say currently, and in recent years, certainly with the way that they've played, is this bigger than both Liverpool, Everton, and Man United, Man City? Is this one actually bigger than out of the three?
Well, you see the next two. Yeah, the next two on our list are Liverpool, Everton, Man United, Man City. And this one is far bigger, isn't it? It's far bigger.
It's the history of it, isn't it?
For me, it is.
Like Man City. Man City is like
same cities.
Man City is like before they had the money. They weren't really in top division, weren't they? They were out for quite a bit. I know they were lingering down, what we class as probably League One and that League Two. So Man United sort of probably had because obviously they were always a top team, and Liverpool, they were always fighting for title, weren't they, in Division 1 and Premier League?
Yeah.
And that then obviously caused that rivalry between them, and they hated each other. And it's only of late where I think the Manchester derby now started to get a bit bigger between them, because obviously City have well overtaken Man U in how big they are and globally and winning in Premier League titles. So it's like Man United fans have probably got that fight back with City fans because they're wanting to be the better of the City now.
Yeah, I think this one's become the bigger because of the rivalry between the two cities. They're both like flagship cities in the northwest, aren't they? And obviously the history plays into them too. Are these two the two biggest clubs in this country? Liverpool and Manchester
say so.
United. Obviously, Arsenal fans
History-wise,
might
yeah.
have something to say, maybe Chelsea, but I think these two are the biggest. And I think, like you say, because they've always been historically jockeying for the most league titles, the most European titles, etc. They are I think if you wrote down the number of fans on bits of paper and you did the maths, they're arguably the two biggest sides in the country. So out of the three of them, we're not. I don't think we're going to crowbar the other two games in, because I don't think that they quite get the same kudos as this. And I think that this one is certainly a top 10 rivalry that we're going to be talking about. So I think we're 3 out of 5, Lee. So I think we're going to move on to the next bunch. What have we got, mate?
So the next 5 are Sheffield United versus Sheffield Wednesday, Leeds versus Man United, Aston Villa versus Birmingham, Southampton versus Portsmouth, and Spurs v Arsenal.
I think we might have peaked too soon, boys. I think we might. These first 10 feel very difficult to leave some of these out. So the first one you mentioned, Man United and Leeds. So I think this is more of a thing for Leeds fans than it is for Man United fans. I'll be honest. I think that's probably because of, again, the way that the clubs have kind of gone apart over the years. Certainly in the early 90s, when Leeds won the title and they had a top side there, it felt like it was something that was simmering, and it was something that was obviously between the two cities was a big thing. I don't think Leeds have any natural rivals. I know Jim was on about Harrogate Town.
Put it on the thumbnail, didn't he?
I think Leeds fans would say it's a big derby. I think it is a big game. Don't get me wrong. Do I think it's as big as some of the other ones you mentioned? I don't think so.
See, for me, it's the more when I first started watching football, Leeds and Man U, I'd never even known they were rivals. The more rivalry I remember between them, it were an FA Cup game, and I think Leeds were they League One at the time, or that might have been Championship. I think it went Beckford. Do you mean Beckford?
Beckford scored, yeah.
Beckford scored,
1-0,
so it's probably their rivalry were more a lot before my time. So I find it odd to put this one in.
Yeah.
Can I just say about it? Can it be a rivalry if it's only one team who feels it's a rivalry? Because I don't, and I'm not trying to stab a knife in Leeds at all, because I'm not. I've got a lot of friends who are Leeds fans, but I don't see how it can be a one-way rivalry, because Man United don't really see it. They see Liverpool as the rivals.
They do, but that's probably out of necessity of what's happened to the clubs. I think the trajectory of the clubs has determined that. I mean, there'll be Liverpool and Everton fans, if any of them are watching on here, going, "Well, that's definitely a big one." But I think Man United and Liverpool would agree that their rivalry is with United, simply because of the two clubs are not on the same footing. I think in the 80s, obviously, when Everton had a lot of their success and Liverpool then took over, and they were arguably, well, the two of the most successful teams in the 80s, weren't they? Everton and Liverpool in this country. So I think it's I think it's sort of the way the clubs have gone. I think that's probably died down a bit. They used to call it the friendly derby as well, and they all used to sit together, blue and reds, in the same family. You can imagine it might get heated at times, and I know more recently it's not as friendly as it used to be, I suppose. But I just don't feel like it's as fierce as some of the others. So moving on. So Leeds Man United, we don't think is going to make it. What's the next one?
It's Villa versus Birmingham, a massive second city derby. Again,
I think there's a bias here towards Villa's dominance in this particular fixture. Their stature as a club. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Birmingham over the next 10 years, and it might become much more of a thing. And I know for the fans of the clubs, there is a lot of animosity between the two clubs, and I'm not really thinking. I can't really make a case for it being top 10 personally. I don't know if anyone else thinks differently.
I actually think it is. I think it's that fierce rivalry. I think it's really fierce rivalry.
I think it's very, very similar to Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday territory.
I do, yeah.
If I'm quite honest.
Okay.
I remember watching. I think might have been last week. I don't know why, but Sky Sports, I think might have been Sky Sports Premier League channel, whatever it was, or football channel. It were going through Villa and Birmingham's rivalry, and I know you said Villa have got the upper hand on it all, but I can't remember how many years it was, but it might have been about 7 or 8 games. Birmingham were actually unbeaten against Villa, and it were more recent times, like more in the last 10, 15 years, whatever.
But
So-
is that them raising their game because they feel like that's their game,
And
isn't
then
it?
that makes it a big rivalry, doesn't it? Because if they're not doing that well in league, but then they're raising their standards for that game, they know how important that game is.
Okay, so you want it under consideration. So it makes the list, but it might be one that, for me, it's going to teeter around that 10 mark where it might drop into the 10, it might not. So that's where I think we'll be with that one. What's the next one?
Southampton, Portsmouth.
Now, I think this. I've got a good mate of mine, Rob, who's a Portsmouth fan, and it's just, we call ours pigs, they call them scummers, and it's a big nasty affair. I think that Harry Redknapp will be able to tell you more than me about it. I think when he went over to Agent Redknapp went from Portsmouth into Southampton, took him down. I think he went back to Portsmouth, didn't he, or something like that? I can't remember if he did or not, but it was he certainly. I think he'll know a lot about it. I think it is a big rivalry. Again, I think it's one of those borderline ones that's going to, I think between the two sets of supporters, it's pretty nasty.
Now, what I find mad here, though, is obviously if this is going on, this is what you've picked up, Lee, and you on the wins and draws. Southampton have won it 20 times, Portsmouth 9, and then they've drawn 11. That in the history of them clubs, when you're looking at the rest of the games, they've not actually played each other that much.
Not 40 games, just 40 games,
which is a lot less of what I'm seeing on some of these, some of these other fixtures. So that then leads me to, I'm not saying it's not a big rivalry, because I do believe it is, but then does it not get in your top 10 because they've not actually played each other that many times compared to the rest?
Yeah,
does that matter though? It's I mean, I'm struggling not to put it in the top 10 because of how fierce it is, and also they haven't got a lot else to do down there, have they? They've got a lot down there. So apart from fate each other, but I think it's pretty fierce. Yeah, the fact that there's only 40 games and a lot of the others are over 100, some over 250. I can see there is a bit of a point towards that, but isn't it how fierce the rivalry is?
I'm just trying to get like fours and against for it. You know what I mean? So we can argue a point, and it's perfect. Like you say, you've come back with a good point yourself. So
it's a great point. It's a great point for me. I think that in our lifetime, Southampton have obviously had the edge. We've had a lot more years in the Premier League. Obviously, Portsmouth had their spell under Mandarich, where he took some money at it with Crouchy and Defoe and Prosinecki. What a player he was. Yeah, they got hold of him. Crikey. Sol Campbell went down there for a payday, didn't he?
Prosinecki used to have a cigarette at half time, apparently. He used to have a cigarette at half time, that Prosinecki, didn't he, apparently?
Yeah, and who's gonna tell him off? Nobody. Nobody at Portsmouth anyway. Maybe when he was at Bayern, it was a bit different, but yeah, he's I'm stopping here. So first thing Matt Letitia said, actually, I said, why did you stop at Southampton? You must have had offers, was one of my questions to him. And he was like, yeah, I had this. He was a Spurs fan as a kid, so he had an offer from Spurs. He had all sorts of things on the table. I was like, why don't you go? He says, I could get away with a lot more when I was at Southampton. I was like, yeah, fair enough, fair play. I'm on free kicks, corners, throw-ins, penalties, whatever. I'm standing here, give the ball to me. So yeah, it probably was a bit different for him, but we'll put that under consideration. So what's the next one?
Spurs v Arsenal.
I think the sheer size of the two clubs, and I think this is a top tenner personally. I think they're two huge clubs, massive rich history. Obviously Arsenal have had the better of it. Some Spurs fans would claim they're champions of Europe. We know what we are, which is interesting, quite funny, really. But like West Ham do the same. So yeah, I think this one is definitely a top 10 contender, boys. I think it's going to be hard to leave it out. Would you agree?
Yeah, I find it odd to not put this one in. I've got it on my list. It's a massive rivalry, isn't it? And like I say, I think it's hard because when you look at a rivalry, you look at the hatred, and every rivalry is going to come under that. That is why the rivals. But yeah, growing up as a kid, I always knew this is a main rival. It was always a game that were on Sky. Yeah. You could see how much it meant to fans, and it's a big one for me.
As it's my birthday, we'll all have jelly and ice cream. We'll all have jelly and ice cream.
It's the biggest game, isn't it? It's the biggest game in the capital, isn't it? And but probably the biggest game in the south of England. So for me, it's got to go in. I was really surprised to see that Arsenal are 22 games have won 22 more games than Spurs. I thought it'd be closer, but it's quite a way that. Well, Spurs were a very good side in the 80s. Very good side.
Yeah, but I think in my lifetime, mate, there's no denial that Arsenal have been on top. Anyway, we've got a guest who can tell us that. Sol Campbell is joining us right now. Oh no, sorry, no, not really. I'd love to know. His opinion.
Himself.
Yeah,
he'd talk about himself, not about the game.
Oh, of course he would. Yeah. He's less said about that, the better. Right, go on then. So what's the next one, Lee? We think that one's going to get in.
So the last one in this block of 5 is Sheffield United versus Sheffield Wednesday.
Do we need to talk about this one?
In the interests of us all not getting lynched, I think that we know what this is better than anybody else. Lee, do you want to talk about this one?
I mean, we are the better side, 51 wins over 48. So, historically, we have got the best record. It is families being split because my wife's family are Wednesdayites, Jordan's wife's family is Wednesdayites. But on the day, it's close to a hatred. I wouldn't say I hate Sheffield Wednesday at all, but I definitely don't like them. We're not fans. But is it a top 10 for me? Yes. Would it be in the top 5? Probably not for me, if I'm dead honest about it. I think there's bigger games. There's not bigger games around this area. And obviously there's no bigger game in the city. City rivals, what are we, 4 miles apart? 3-4 miles apart of the grounds?
Something like that.
It's definitely a top 10 for me.
One's in the city, isn't it? And they're sort of...
One's just
short
one's
in
Barnsley,
the city and one's on Barnsley, yeah. So
South Barnsley, yeah. It's I'll let Jordan have his go in a minute. I think it's flip flopped, hasn't it? Who's been in charge of this one for quite some time?
Yeah.
It should probably be us at this moment in time, but we shall see about that on Sunday. Obviously, 2 wins last year. I love it. I think it's pure theatre. There's much more riding on it. For me, it's this, like you say, that I had a comment the other day. It's the biggest fixture in the calendar. It's the first one I'm looking at when the fixtures come out, and I think it's something to look forward to. I'm not on the boat of it's going to be terrible, whatever. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. It's football, and I think as United fans, we're used to both, aren't we? Which for me, I'm ready for Sunday, come what may. George, what are you? Oh, sorry, I just want to mention my cousin Neil as well, who's a big Wednesdayite, and I'm sure he'll be there. We haven't texted yet this week, but I'm sure he'll be there.
I won't text him until Monday. I'll just wait until Monday.
Yeah, I know. But it's we've had some good recent times at their expense. They've had some good times in my lifetime at Wembley and other places. So I think it's very, very even, and I think because of that, I think it does make the top 10. Jord?
No, I agree. It's probably just echoing what you two said. Really, there's not much more to think apart from my personal experience. It's growing up with my dad. He's a Wednesday fan, and then my brother went to play for United when he was like 10, 11. He's had a couple of years, and he became a United fan. He wanted to take me to. He said to me, "Dad, I'm going to make him a United fan." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right then." Obviously, it did. It happened. I become a United fan, and we had that rivalry in our house growing up. My mum's a United fan, stepdad's a United fan. But then, obviously, when you get your missus and her family, just like every single one of them is Wednesday, and you're going into a family that's full of Wednesday. It's just it's just a division, isn't it? You either if you're following football in this city, you are either United or Wednesday, aren't you? You're not going and following someone else. It's
I'm sure you're better off with us on Sunday afternoon than going around for a Sunday roast.
oh, definitely. No, I won't be joining them. That is
that's it.
Especially
That's
if we lose, I might not come home.
Yeah. All right then. So, in the interest of trying to keep this neutral, let's keep going with it, Lee. What's the next one?
So the next 5, we'll do the block first, and then I'll give you the rest.
Oh, is that? Oh, sorry,
Spurs v
have we done all that? So I think we've got about
That's
8
10.
of the
That's the first 10.
10. 8 of the 10 in or something like that at the minute. I'm going to go through some
We're 7
comments.
out of 10. We're 7 out of 10. Yeah.
I do feel like we've like my dad, we've peaked too soon, but we'll just have a little
a bit here, aren't we?
Yeah, I know.
Yes, happy birthday, Man Mountain from Deborah.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Yeah. There was some. When it's fine. I'll have my day on Sunday. Is when I'm celebrating my birthday, so that'll be fine. Thank you very much, Deborah. Evening, guys. First of all, very happy birthday to Man Mountain. Thank you very much, Lewis. Secondly, and in my personal opinion, there are 3 derbies in British football that are unrivaled. Ooh, there he is for intensity and emotion. He can write, this boy. In no specific order, very much on par, the Sheffield Derby, the Tyne-Wear Derby, and the Old Firm. Okay, so he's putting us in there with them 2 juggernaut derbies as well. The latter might have a fair claim to being the biggest, but in England, there are only 2. As for the rest, Mount Derby is next rung down. Man U and Liverpool's biggest rivalry is with each other, and it devalues their city rivalries for me. Arsenal Spurs bigger than both.
Yeah.
I think we've gone with that, haven't we, lads? I think that we kind of the other 2 on that one. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, Jim. Despite the stitch up, do us a favour and play Lee's intro again. Don't you worry, mate. It's good to go if we decide. Happy birthday, Paul. Hope you have a good 21st. David, made my Christmas card list once again, my friend. For the best community in football, up the Ramble, up the Blades, up the B&B. Okay, so Lewis, $9.99. What a generous man. Nice round of applause for Lewis. Very good. Thank you very much, buddy. He's a top man, and me and him are going to be getting together for potentially for a little show soon. I think that's on the card, so we'll keep you posted. Evening, lads. Happy birthday to Paul, the Man Mountain. Thank you, March. Looking forward to this one. Up the stat man with the Ramblers predictions. Celtic v Rangers biggest for me. No, it's not just ones in England, mate. It's that's
Jim
definitely
did put it out as if it were going to be that, but we changed it, didn't we? So
yeah, we did. I think we have to acknowledge it. I think we do. I'm with Lewis. We're up there with the Tyne-Wear Derby, in my opinion. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Birthday wishes, Paul. Wife won't bring you water after the last time she interrupted you live on the internet. Have a great evening. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
I think that last comment before that was Meldrew. This is Meldrew, I think, yeah, because he put up the -2, and there's only
Sorry. Did I miss something there? Anyway, Wolves v West Brom is a big derby. I know all about that one. It is big and it's nasty. Evening, all the Old Firm and the Dons Derby. Dons Derby.
I did mention. Sorry, Lee, that mentioned that one. Someone mentioned it earlier.
MK Dons and Wimbledon, is it?
Yeah, because obviously MK Dons Wimbledon hate them, don't they? Because they stole the name Dons. Because obviously Wimbledon went out of business. Yeah. Milton Keynes come in and chose to be called MK Dons, and it was taking the Dons name, weren't it, from Wimbledon?
It's the closest thing to the American franchise system.
Yeah.
So it's an odd one, that, isn't it? Sorry?
Maybe it's in the list further down.
Yeah, maybe. And obviously Wimbledon had the odd Italian-style ground share with Pallets, didn't they, for a long time as well? I don't know how those clubs got on. I assume I can't really think about their derbies, whether it was how fierce that was. Must be interesting on when they played each other, who got what side and who went where and what have you. But anyway, if you've got your city's tram service terminating when you play, you know it ain't good. I think it's probably to save the drivers any having security for that kind of situation must be hard to organise effectively, I'd imagine. There we go. Lewis, the thing I love about living in Bristol area is that people I know are fascinated by the Sheffield Derby and ask me a million questions about it. The two here never play each other and long for it. Yeah, so Rovers and City are obviously, City have had the better of that, and Rovers are a slightly smaller club. So it's not as equally contested, we could say, in terms of stature. I think that it's one of those, isn't it, where because of the love of football within the city, if it was a one club city, like for example Newcastle, like for example Leeds United, it may be that our fortunes may be second tier because we sort of split it quite equally across the punters. Would you agree, lads? A little bit.
Definitely. Yeah.
There's a bit of a ceiling, isn't there, within the city, I
Yeah.
suppose, as a result of the two sides. But the history is, I'll let John on the tour tell you about that. Can't believe you missed the biggest derby. Gunners versus Woolpack find out in the lead tile in the Scilly Isles. Oh, very good. So yeah, there's a couple of them that have been chucked in. You'll see in a minute. There's a couple that have been chucked in because obviously there's some personal experience of some of them. But if they made the top 10 as a channel, I'm not sure how credible would be thought of ever again if one of the ones that gets mentioned in a short while actually makes the list. But we'll hear what the arguments are. We'll see what it is in a minute. Even all in terms of all the derbies, modern times has lost its appeal. Which one has got a bit more interest in recent years? I think the best one in the Premier League this year for me, because of it's not been as regular, is certainly going to be Sunderland Newcastle. I think that'll be a huge occasion, simply because the frequency of that fixture is quite sporadic in terms of they haven't been at the same level for a while, and the ferocity of it. I think that's going to be the one to watch this year. Would you agree, lads?
Yeah, that was one I was going to say, and then you mentioned it, so yeah, I've no against for that one.
Just get in first, George. Steal all the lines before you can get there. David, nice on Wee Louis. Okay, and Leeds v Man United got to be up there. I don't think it's Man U's biggest derby, mate. I think that's your problem, Joe. I think, as we explained, I think you are right. It's a big game. I think that just because the two clubs have kind of like drifted apart a little bit. I know it's big for Leeds, so we do acknowledge it is a big derby. Villa v Birmingham, again, whether it makes it on the, because one is clearly the dominant force. Royal Oak versus Nags Head. Here we go. Cheers, March.
Shout out Steve Bracknell. He's just got his own podcast anyway at BBC as well.
Also, in terms of derbies, we got here, yes, Joe. Specific years, off-field antics. Bit of verbal sparring. You could argue Forest and Cloughy and Leeds and all that, couldn't you, at one point? Has that made the list? Forest Derby. Is that even on there? Evening therapists. Therapists, very good. Cheers, mate. No certificates on the wall, you'll notice. There's a huge rivalry. It's very poisonous. I often hear on Blades Ramble that some families are both United and Wednesday fans, and you rarely get that in Birmingham. Okay, it definitely splits families, and I think all three of us, certainly me and Jord, are testament to that. It's a bit of a thing. We're more United for ours, but managers and dominance plays into it heavily. Liverpool versus Chelsea in those 05-08 years. Again, two big sides grappling for position. Again, not going to make this list. I wouldn't say. True story. My granddad, who is no longer with us, R.I.P. mate, was a big blade. Once had my cousin knock on door in Wednesday top and wouldn't let him in. Until I love that. I love that sort of banter. Here's a biggie. Millwall versus West Ham. Again, fierce. Their fan bases, we know, are very vociferous in their support.
Firms as well that get they were just, I think someone just mentioned about it, antics off the pitch. Their firms get a big shout in that one, don't they?
Yeah, the football factories are working hard that day. Spurs Arsenal in one of the rare EPL derbies that's still got some bite to it. I think so. I just think it slips out of the top five, maybe the top 3-4, but just because I think it's been a little bit dominated by Arsenal in recent times, and obviously Yeah, I think it is still a monster of a game, and probably it's very frequent as well in terms of how
Yeah.
often it happens now. With the Rivalries, do you think with some of these games it makes them bigger because they don't play each other every season? I do. I think it's a factor.
Yeah.
I think that the it's hard to get up for things that happen. Like that's the thing with Rangers and Celtic, isn't it? They play 4 times a year minimum plus any cup finals, which is often. So it's I know it's such an occasion. It never gets played after midday, does it? Because they don't want them in the pubs all day, which I think is a telltale. It's the same for us, though, isn't it? With Wednesday, it's always a 12:00 kick.
Well, obviously, you see fixtures first come out, don't you? And obviously, before Sky have even got Ireland or even ITV these days, it's it's down for a 3:00 day, and you know for a fact it's either going to be on a Friday or a Sunday. 9 times out of 10, it's a Sunday.
Yeah, we have had a Friday night, haven't we? Before, I think we have.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when it were now, but there has been one, and I think they probably tried that to be different, thinking that people will be working, they won't have enough time to go out, but then people booked it off work and went out all day, so it were make work, wasn't it?
Yes, it may. Yeah.
Point, Paul. On that point about you saying they play each other 4 times, I wonder if it's the most played derby, actually in world football, because there's about 448 games.
It's got to be, because like you said, there's only 12 teams in that Scottish Premier League, and they play like
to get the wins.
So they're playing each other very regular, and then they've got the cups as well that they tend to get drawn in against each other. So there's potentially like 6 games that they're playing each other at least in a year.
To get the wins equals shocking, isn't it? That's it. That's just, I can't actually believe that's incredible, really. And it was when I was growing up as well. It was Rangers in the ascendancy, so it was always it was the McCoy Gascoigne Laudrup era. Great side, really good. Had a few sprinkling of world class players playing in Scotland as well at the time, and I think they've suffered with the money that's available elsewhere, and obviously the standard then is hard to keep up with others. Home gates in Europe, they get some amazing results, really, considering the wage bills and the resources available to their opponents and them at home when they're, again, good support, very, very vociferous. Yeah. So I think you're right. It probably is the most played. And there's I'm sure there's some busy bobbies on the day as well. Let's have a look. The Steel City Derby is the perfect derby, says Tom, not from Barnsley. Historic, genuine, and nowadays tends not to be unnecessarily violent, with Slavin's genuine aggression. Yeah, I think for I know we've got Bobby Madley on Sunday for the
changed.
Has it
changed? I forgot it. Whoever went fourth.
Webb. It's Webb.
That's it.
Okay.
David Webb.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think they'll dictate how physical it gets a lot of the time. Keeping a handle on it and controlling the amount of what people can get away with, I think, is important. But I think it's one of those where if you're going to give everything, it's just going to be a boring derby, which is
a tough gig, to be honest. A referee's a tough gig anyway. We do give him some stick, but imagine having to try and control, a derby game. If tackles are going to be flying, and it's when to start getting yellow cards out. Is it a red card? That's got to. If you ask a referee, surely they'll come back and say that they are the hardest games to referee, I would think. Very
good. I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to put it on, but North Barnsley versus South Barnsley. You can keep that one. Spoiler alert, the Mountain Lewis collaboration is going to be beard care tips. Well, whatever it takes, Ian. Whatever it takes. Evening, gents. We will catch up with you in the morning. Thanks, Tom. Just got back from picking up the missus from Donny Station. Okay, and finally Dumpling before we get on to the next bit. Evening, guys. Only just managed to catch this, but think one of the most overrated derbies is Celtic versus Rangers. Overrated. Interesting.
I'll say I've said it on stream before, and I'll say it again. Dumpling by name, dumpling by nature.
Okay, coach. Come on then, Lee. We'll ignore that, Dumpers. You're going to have to do better than that, mate, if you're going to get us chatting about that.
Jamie. Terrible shout. Yeah. So your next 5 are Spurs v Chelsea, Millwall v West Ham, West Brom v Wolves, Norwich v Ipswich and Derby v Forest. So if we start with Spurs v Chelsea.
I'm going to say no straight away.
Me
Spurs
too.
v Chelsea.
Me too. Yeah.
I think we move
No.
past that. I don't think Spurs and Chelsea.
I think the fact that we're arguing that Arsenal and Spurs are the biggest one,
Yeah.
can't have
Yeah,
two.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? Can't have two.
Yeah. I don't think
it's one other, innit?
Chelsea have got one really. I don't think them and Fulham is a big enough game really. For either party. Lots
So,
of
Straight on
lots
to
of
Millwall.
West Ham Millwall's big, isn't it?
It's massive.
I think
It's
it's
massive.
I think it's a huge fixture. Obviously, Millwall kind of make up for the the obvious size difference in terms of club stature, with an attitude and a culture within their club.
Yeah.
And it's a big game, and I think it's definitely a shout in the shout for the top 10 league. So you can put that on the list for me.
And actually, Millwall are leading that 38 wins to 34, which has really surprised me. But
Mate, that's
I'd
pub-
have expected West Ham, but that's might be
quiz
because
material.
more of West Ham's. I'm not say success. Yeah, they obviously got the conference UEFA Conference League, but
Champions of
they've
Europe.
been up Europe at top more than what Millwall have, especially in years that I've been watching football.
yeah,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can't recall them being in the same division. Millwall haven't made it to the Prem, and I can't recall West Ham. Did they go down once? I can't
So
remember.
when they drop out, they
West Ham
dropped out
been
a
down,
couple of times, once or twice. Yeah.
but it's the epitome of a rivalry, isn't it? Because this is fierce, really fierce. This is family v family, isn't it? This.
I think the films that have been out, like Green Street and stuff like that, and probably. I'm not saying it gives a true thing of what it is, but it makes people that didn't know about them rivalries exactly how they are, Yeah. So I agree. Really, it's a fierce one.
Yeah, I think we agree. Okay, next one.
West Brom v Wolves.
My personal
because you'll know more about this one. So
I think
I'm back.
It splits my dad's side of the family. It's pretty fierce by all accounts. It's they have songs for each other. What's it called? The song, the one that Chelsea played.
Yeah, they swear in it.
Producer, is it? I can't remember. Is that what it's called? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, they play that and they sing about each other every home game. So it's I think it's pretty fierce, mate. I think it's definitely on the top 10, the edge of it, or in it. I think it's right there. So I think we put that in the list as well. So we've got our 10. So keep going.
We're on 9.
I'm going to drop out here.
Yeah, well, that's it. We're going to have to narrow it down, aren't we? So the next one is Norwich v Ipswich.
No. The fact that they're like 44 miles apart or whatever it is, I don't even know how it can be. It's that bad that there's not enough teams in that area that these two have to make out that they're rivals. I can't get on with it being a rivalry personally.
I think to the supporters of the club, I think it's bigger than what the outside looking in.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. But it's hard for me. I just think
it's definitely a big rivalry.
I don't know. It's like us playing Huddersfield, or if not even further than them.
I don't know, because the proximity, and like you said, the proximity is not that close. But in terms of football clubs around those areas, they're so far apart from everybody else, aren't they?
Ipswich closer to Colchester though. But is it just because that they don't play? Colchester are
there's
a small
no issue there.
Division, they're never going to really play each other that much. That's why it's more Ipswich. Norwich.
Colchester would be a Rotherham to us, or a Donny or something. It's not the same, is it? I think there is definitely a rivalry. I don't think it quite makes the top 10 personally, but I still think it's one that you have to doff the cap to. I think that between the two clubs, is quite fierce. So, and I think it is a big game. But anyway, go on then. Next one
is Derby v Forest. Is it the A52 Derby? You call it?
Mate, this is really big for the Forest and Derby fans. Really big.
Yeah.
It's, for me, it's one that is. I think it is. I think it's right there. It's right there on the edge of the 10, either in the 10 or or just beyond the 10. I think it's right there.
I was working at a Forest fans' house today because obviously you were asking about United Wednesday and stuff, and I got chatting to him, and obviously there is Forest and Notts County, but because Notts County been as low down leagues as they are, Forest and Derby have really had a fierce rivalry for a long time, and I'm guessing it probably stemmed from Cloughie as well.
Yeah,
Managed both teams. Both will probably argue that he was best manager for either club, and stuff like that. And then, Ben Osborne rings a bell with that. I think were he a Derby fan, but then played for Notts Forest.
Yeah.
And I remember him scoring against Derby as well for Forest, running off celebrating. But I think his uncle were a Derby fan, and stuff like that. It's definitely one that's been talked about quite a lot, and I think it's a shout to be in top 10, whether we put it in, but it's definitely a fierce.
It's definitely going on the debatable list. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna put it there and thereabouts. Next one, Lee.
Just see where we are now. Is that that's the block of 5? So we're down to the last 6.
Okay.
So we'll do these singularly because they're a little bit smaller. So
Right.
we've got Cardiff v Swansea. Well, we're saying a little bit smaller. It's not small to them because it's it's like the Welsh derby, isn't it?
Well, I think it's huge for them. I think in English football terms, because the clubs have never met at the top level, have they? And they've
No.
It's one that, I think it's just massive for the people involved and not as big for everybody else. And
I agree.
I think because of that, they're just going to fall out. I acknowledge it as a big derby between the two of them, massive derby between the two of them, but I just think for the rest of all the eyes looking in, I think it doesn't make the top 10 on that basis.
I agree.
Yeah, I find it hard to put it in other clubs. I acknowledge that it is a rivalry. Obviously, it's a Welsh rivalry between the cells, but I think there's bigger ones out there.
We've left bigger ones out for me.
Yeah.
So if you're leaving bigger ones out, you've got to. The one that was spoke about earlier, MK Dons v Wimbledon. Now, it's a different type of rivalry, isn't it? Because, like we said, this is about a club that went into extinction because of moving to Milton Keynes, taking out, basically just buying the club out. So it's a different type of rivalry. I don't know whether it's a derby, but it's a definite rivalry.
I think it's a strange one. I think there's other ones, like you say. I think, I mean, where I'm from, where I was brought up, Grimsby Lincoln, Grimsby Scunthorpe were probably bigger games than this, and they're not going to make it. So I think that for me,
it gets a mention, but I think you just said, Lee, because one team nearly going out of extinction and then it moved to there and basically getting bought out. A lot of teams now to go out of business. They set up as a Phoenix club like Bury did. You didn't see them get replaced, by another club. I mean, MK Dons, I remember, went straight into the Football League, didn't they? So that's probably where the hatred comes from, innit?
Do you call it a Phoenix club, Joe? What do you mean?
That's what they're called, aren't they? AFC Bury. They were like a Phoenix club, didn't they?
Phoenix club?
Yeah.
Oh.
So obviously, I think they've merged now.
There's about 200 jokes running through my head now, but I'll leave them.
Yeah, I think it's Family Channel.
Too good. Too many to talk about. But there you go. We'll be here all night. Next one, then,
is Hibs v Hearts, the Edinburgh Derby.
I think this is another one that it's massive. It's the Edinburgh Derby, isn't it? Like you say, this is a huge derby up in Scotland again, and it's the one that's just behind Rangers and Celtic, but probably gets ignored a lot by us English because similar to the Cardiff and Swansea one, we recognise that they are rivals, but probably don't take too much notice on it. But this is a big rivalry, definitely. Whether it makes the top 10, I'm unsure, but I think it could be one where it's debatable.
I think, like you say, a big game between the two, probably similar to Cardiff, Swansea in many ways. And we don't want to just ignore it because it's in a different country. The overall interest in that particular game, I'd imagine, is quite local to the people, to the teams involved, which I guess dictates the size a little bit. So we acknowledge it. We don't think it's top 10. Next one, Lee.
just going on to the Hibs Hearts, I think the issue the Hibs Hearts game has is the fact that the Old Firm's so big. It's just such a big game.
Yeah.
You know, that is Scottish football, especially for us down here. We see that as Scottish football, and everything else is just a sideshow, really, for it. So it's a shame because obviously they're two great clubs, but they don't get it top 10 for me.
Yeah, I won't go in a pub in Edinburgh and call it a sideshow, but I'm happy. I'm happy for you to call it. I'm happy for you to call it that on the stream, mate. If you want.
Yeah, best not go there.
Okay, next one, mate.
Now this is Jordan's call. I didn't even know it were a rivalry. Chester v Wrexham.
Again,
so I'll let Jordan take this.
Yeah, it's just I didn't know massively about it until I can't remember. There were always that GIF that were going about, and it's I forgot what bootlegger were called. Something like that. It was someone that were on, and he's there at the Chester ground. He's a Wrexham fan at Chester ground, and I think they're having a minute's silence for something that meant, again, something to Wrexham. And Chester fans started singing over it after about 30 seconds, and it caused like absolute uproar. These fans running onto the pitch trying to get to Chester fans. They're going absolutely mental for it. And the main thing that stems from this is obviously Wrexham's North Wales. And Chester, the borderline between Wales and England goes through Chester. So I think they probably argue that, well, what are you, Welsh or you're English? And then there'll be more to it, a lot more to it that I don't know enough about. But it's just one that popped in my head, and I remember, like I said, from that ages back, and I thought there'll definitely be a fierce rivalry between them two. Whether it makes top 10, probably not, but I think it's worth a mention.
Yeah, again, fair honourable mention. Not top 10 for me, or you, George. You don't think it's top 10, do you?
No, I'm not. I'm not putting it in my top 10. But like I say, it got. When I looked, I did say earlier, I think it might get it top 10. But then when you start reading down your list of things, there's other fixtures that make it in before it. But I just thought it deserved an honourable mention because we mentioned a lot of big teams, and probably a lot of people might not have even thought of that. So I just thought it was something else to add to the stream.
Fair enough. Go on, Lee.
Next one is Blackburn v Burnley.
Again,
it's a good one, that one.
It's a big game. It's a big game for, again, probably a little bit more for the teams, obviously.
Yeah.
Teams involved. It's a really, really big game. Sort of swap positions over the years, haven't they, in terms of the success. Blackburn winning a title in our lifetime. So that was pretty special for them as a club. But yeah, and Burnley having more recent success. I think that that is fierce. That is certainly for me a contender for to be in and around the questions. Maybe not top 5, but it's certainly a contender for top 10. I think it goes on the. We'll discuss that in a sec. Yeah. Go on, Lee. Next one.
And it's the last one. It's one I'll put in, and it's not going to get in, but it's one I wanted to mention because of where I live. Where I live is like 8 miles from Mansfield and 7 miles from Chesterfield. And this rivalry, when they play each other, is real hatred. And it all stems from the miners' strike in the 80s. And it really, really is vicious. Really vicious rivalry. And the actual result so far is the 30-30, both the teams. So, again, not to the level of Rangers Celtic, but
again,
really
two teams at a similar level and sort of have been in my brain for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that breeds it, doesn't it, a little bit, and makes it certainly makes it a thing. And like you said, the locality probably jostling for probably many rows, like many people we know about who's the bigger club, etc. So yeah, I think it's an honourable mention, Lee, but there's no way.
That's it.
To a credible 10. So what have we got then, mate? In terms of the I think we've got about 12, haven't we?
We've got 12. We've got. So if we go through them, and we know that some are going to be definite. So we've got Rangers, Celtic, Sunderland, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United are definitely in. So there's 7 left.
Yeah.
So then we go us on Wednesday, which I think is a top 10.
Yeah.
So that's 4. Villa Brum is definitely a top 10.
Yeah.
It's 5. Spurs Arsenal.
Yeah,
would you
said
agree?
That one,
6.
Yeah.
Then we come to things like Southampton Portsmouth, which has got to be on the fence.
Yep.
Millwall West Ham.
Top 10.
Yeah, I think that makes it.
So that's 7. So Millwall, West Ham. West Brom, Wolves.
It's hard for me. Paul knows more about this one, and
See,
and
for
to be
me,
honest, my uncle, he's a Wolves fan, and
I'm going to be biased.
he
I'm gonna be
hates
biased.
West Brom. My uncle hates West Brom. Like he's Wolves fan, and
I'm
Yeah.
going to be biased here, and I'm going
is
to
that one
kick
you
out.
want in?
I'm going to kick out Villa and Birmingham. I'm going to put West Brom and Wolves. I think that's a bigger, longer, stronger rivalry. Personally,
Fair play, your choice.
it's not,
Is it-
well,
if
it's
there's
my
one
choice. I
fixture
need you
you
to
want
agree
taken
with
out
it
for you,
because
then
you might
you
tell
get
me
it,
I'm full of it. But I think that
I can't
Brom
agree
is
with that.
bigger.
I think maybe they should both be in, personally,
Okay, well, we'll stick
because I
it
think
in
there's
then.
weaker. I think there's weaker. I think Blackburn and Burnley and Cardiff and Swansea are both weaker.
I agree. I think I agree there.
Okay, Cardiff and Swansea's in the bin. So should we agree to put Cardiff and Swansea in the bin? Put it at like
Yeah.
11, 12. So
Well, the
there's
other one
more
would be Derby. For the three for me that we need one from the three would be Derby, Forest, Cardiff, Swansea, Blackburn, Burnley.
For me, I'd be taking out.
Oh, sorry, 2. You've got 2 from those 3.
Oh.
So we've got Rangers, Celtic, Sunderland, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United, us Wednesday, Villa, Birmingham, Spurs, Arsenal, Millwall, West Ham, West Brom, Wolves. You've got Forest, Derby, Cardiff, Swansea, or Blackburn, Burnley. You need 2 of those 3.
So in the 10, then we only need one. We only need one out of them 3 fixtures.
I think we
1,
drop
2,
Cardiff.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we need 2 out of the 3.
Oh,
I think we drop Cardiff, Swansea personally.
Yeah, I think out of them, Derby, Forest, and you said Blackburn, Burnley.
Yeah,
they beat Cardiff, Swansea for me.
Yeah, me too. I
I
think Cardiff,
agree.
Swansea's 11.
I agree. So as top 10 is
So I think
Rangers
we'll
v
start
Celtic.
at 10, mate. We'll start at 10. So for me, I think it's those last two that you just said. I think it's between Derby, Forest, and I think Derby, Forest might be 10. I think
I'd have gone 9, and then Blackburn, Burnley 10.
And with Jordan.
okay, we'll do. Well, I'm outvoted. That's fine. We'll do that then. So that's 10 and 9 done. So for what do we reckon for 8 and 7?
I would say it's Millwall, West Ham, or us on Wednesday.
You think Birmingham and Villa is bigger than us on Wednesday?
Yeah.
I don't.
I disagree.
I might be being biased, but I'd
have Villa and Burnley. Villa and Birmingham at 8 for me personally.
I probably might be on the fence with that one. Yeah, it's hard. It's so hard. What was the other choices that we could have at 8 then? So we've got Villa, Birmingham,
West Brom, Wolves. So Villa, Birmingham, West Brom, Wolves, Millwall, West Ham.
Okay, Millwall, West Ham. We're going to put at 8. Agreed?
I don't disagree with that. I agree with that.
But then I'm putting Birmingham and Villa at 7, Jord. Are you with me?
Yeah, I think I'd have to with that one then. I don't see them.
You're getting trumped there, Lee.
I disagree.
Sorry,
I think it's the other way around. I think it'd be West Brom for me who'd go at 7, but majority rules.
I'm going to put West Brom and Wolves next.
At 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that.
I'm going to put United Wednesday at 5.
I like that.
And then
Are you all right with that, Jordan?
I had United Wednesday at 4. At 5. I had Man U, Liverpool personally.
Ooh. No.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's because of the stature of them clubs and what's between the two cities. I think it's really, really tasty. But anyway, so do you agree with me or Jordan? What we're saying is Man United, Liverpool bigger, Lee? I think it is.
Oh yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah,
the two most successful teams in the UK. So
we're making progress here, lads. So we're in at 5 with United. So do we think that Man U Liverpool is the 4th biggest? What have we got left? We've got the time where we've got
Spurs, Arsenal, Sunderland, Newcastle, Rangers, Celtic, Liverpool, Man U.
See, for me, I think I'm putting Spurs, Arsenal at 4.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one.
I think then we're going, for me, it's going to be Liverpool Man United at 3.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. Yeah, because I know what top 2 is coming here. Yeah.
And the big 2, I'm putting the Time We're at 2 and the Glasgow Derby at number 1 as the biggest, for many reasons that we're not going to delve into, but I think that is arguably the fiercest of derbies, and I think it gets a massive amount of coverage and attention considering where the Scottish League lives in the world of football. I think that rivalry is the biggest part of that division and that country's football.
I agree. I think there were only, to be honest, as well, there were only a couple that we were sort of disagreeing on. I think probably 7 out of 10 there we were probably more agreed on.
Yeah, he's not happy with Villa Birmingham.
Villa,
that's
for
what
me,
I'm saying.
Villa
Like 3 games where
bigger
we
than us.
were arguing on, weren't they? But I think 7 out of 10 there we were probably at.
I don't think they're evenly matched. Personally, the reason I argue that, Lee, is they're not even, and they never have been in my life. They're not. One's too powerful for the other, and I think as a spectacle in this country, it's just not a frequent thing. That I think it'd be enormous for the sets of fans. I get it, but as a spectacle from the outside looking in, would you say it's like something that people would go, "Oh, I'll watch that game above any other"? For me, it wouldn't really get my juices flowing as much as some of the other ones that have been in it. Personally,
yeah, I get that. I get it.
It might get bigger soon with the plans that Birmingham's got. If we've seen their stadium plans today that's been announced, 62,000 seater. You know,
what's the line, John? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Was that Mike Tyson?
Yeah, but their plans, if it ends up, going well and doing what they do, them two might be playing each other more regular, and it might, get the juices flowing. But
these things are very fluid, and there'll be a lot of supporters listening to this going, "What?" Or if they saw it, they'd be.
That's what it's about. It's opinions, isn't it? That's
very personal, isn't it? It's very personal, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think we've got the big boys in the right spots there, and then I think the top 5's pretty straightforward. I think, and I think we've got a bit of United bias sticking us in at 5 personally, but
I'd try going higher.
but I think the next 10 are pretty debatable, and because you wouldn't know. I don't think you get anyone in football agreeing on the next 10 because it's very personal. Your thing with Villa Birmingham is obviously personal to you, and you understand it better than we do. And we've I don't want to think we've shouted it down. I think it's got a big status in this convo. But my reasoning, I think, it's just not as competitive as some of the others, personally.
We all also get regional bias. If we were from London, this would probably be very different. Because we see a lot more of the northern and the Midland sides than what we do down south and up in Scotland as well. So, maybe Portsmouth and Southampton gets in if you live down there. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I know someone who might watch this and go, "You guys are clueless," but I think it's one of those, isn't it? It's just how we think about it. So we've got to move on, boys. We've got to get our predictions in because we are on the clock a little bit now. So I want to welcome in our Ramblers representative. Welcome, Statman Jack. How are you, pal?
Oh, hi, mate. You all right?
You all right there? Sorry to disturb you from your light reading.
Hang on, mate. Hang on.
Nice panini stickers.
I've got to do this live on the internet.
What is it?
Stevie Wonder, happy birthday, isn't it?
Oh, thank you very much, mate. Oh my gosh.
Live on the internet.
Very professional, isn't it? Cheers, Jack. Cheers, pal. I appreciate it.
Mate.
I'd have welcomed just an happy birthday, but that.
Well, I had to go a step above at the Ramble, my friend.
Now you're here, mate. We're just going to go through some comments, so I'm not a mile behind. Ref Sunday is the ref who did us versus Blackburn when we won 3-1 this season. Thank you, March. That sounds good to me. We'd take that now, won't we, boys? I personally think the best derby is Brum. Yeah. There'll be Cooler King. I'm hoping isn't tuning in tonight because I know he'll have something to say.
He's already commented. He commented earlier, Cooler King, so I think he'll definitely be listening to this.
Yeah, he
and
will.
He'll definitely disagree with.
I know. It's regional. It is what it is. Old Firm Derby started 1888. Played well over 300 games. Yeah, I know. We've had the stats, David. Thank you very much. The Liquidator. That's the one. That's the one. And Chelsea play it as well, don't they? Swansea v Cardiff, underrated. Yeah, it came pretty close for us, didn't it? Came pretty close. More rivalry between me and Old Benny than Norwich and Ipswich. Thank you, March. It's very good. What makes a derby for you all? If you could only choose the two of the following: historic, politics, previous games, atmosphere, proximity. Yes, Joe, you've basically named the criteria, but we can't carry on with it because we'll be here till Tuesday. Huge Swansea v Cardiff. Yep, it is. You're right. But is what is it, number 11 for us boys? I think it came in at.
I think it was 11 or 12, yeah.
Bigger than Forest Derby. Interesting opinion, March. Appreciate it. Agreed. Have you covered Bolton v Wigan? No, it's top of the pops, mate. It's if it's in the top 20, I'd be surprised, my friend.
High rivalry.
What you're crazy, Paul, for that? Oh dear. There we go. I knew this was coming. Lee's been covering his arse all night saying about that one. Yeah, it's massive. I know it's big, but it's just not a thing that we've grown up with, mate, is it? If you think about the last 30 years of watching football, how many times have we even seen the game?
I get it.
The answer's literally, what, 3? Oh, God knows. I can't even recall one, to be honest. But it's a, I appreciate the rivalry there. Yeah, come on, Chris, sort that out, mate. Not a chance. Man City v Man United is incredibly overrated. Yeah, didn't make it, did it, for us? Didn't make it. Villa Birmingham worse than the Steel City derby. Shocking. It's not worse. It's not a worse derby. It's just not a derby that's really happened, mate. I think that's where we are. I think if it was all the time, I think we might get more of a flavour being an outsider to that game than we have done. But it just doesn't happen often enough. The two clubs are not equal. It is biased, of course it is. We just said it is. Anyway, Steel City derby all day. See you boys on the Jaeger. Brett, just
Oh,
mate,
God.
sort you out. No, me and George, we stick together, don't we, pal?
No,
Cardiff v Swansea, only allowed to travel on official coaches. Dave coaches. They're missing Cardiff versus Swansea. Yeah, I know there's a lot of shouting for that. Stoke Port Vale is a shout. I know that's nasty. I know it's nasty. But going to Stoke, full stop, is quite a. Again, I use the term vociferous atmosphere. I think getting to the grounds, like, you got to keep your head down, haven't you? Dundee versus Dundee. Yeah, okay. I'm sure it's big, but it's not big enough for our list. Okay, so let's do the results then, boys. Let's do the scores from last week, Lee, to start with. See who got what, and then we'll tell us what we're doing this week.
Okay, last week, Jim scored 2 points from the MK Dons Salford game and the York Morecambe game. Paul, you only scored 1 point. That was from the York Morecambe game, correct result. I only got 2. Mine were from the York Morecambe and the Gillingham Crawley, correct result, not scores. Jordan, you got 2 from the Luton Rotherham as a draw and York Morecambe for a correct result as a win. And the Ramblers got 2 as well. MK Don Salford, a point for the win, and York Morecambe, a point for the win. So nothing really happened apart from you're now at the bottom, Paul, with Jordan on 11 points.
Oh,
well,
we could have just said Paul's at the bottom. Just leave it at that. Don't need to. We're not joint bottom. I'm above him.
Let's just somebody's got to prop it up. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as we know, as the old blades know about this season. Okay, Jack, what you saying, mate? What was the fixture that you brought to the table, buddy?
I brought Leicester versus Stoke to the table.
Leicester v Stoke. Lee, you're gonna have to tell us what's what and who's who here and who said what. Go on, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get Jack's first. So, what's your score, Jack?
For all of them, yeah.
No, just for Leicester v Stoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've gone 1-0 Stoke.
Oh. So Jim's gone 1-1. Paul's gone 1-1. Jordan's gone 1-1. And I've gone 1-0 Leicester.
Wow.
Okay.
And we don't get to see each other's either. So shall I take it on, Paul? Shall I carry on?
Yeah, crack on, mate. Go on. I'm trying to find him.
The next game, which is picked by Jordan, is Newcastle v Man City. So what's your score for that one, Jack?
I have gone 2-1 to Man City.
Okay, so Newcastle Man City. Jim has gone 2-0 Man City. Paul's gone 3-1 Man City. I've gone 3-1 Man City. And Jordan's gone 2-1 Man City.
What's he done that for?
So it's a
A
Newcastle
win's
home
good for
win, then.
everybody.
Lovely.
Yeah. So the next game was my game, and I've gone for Coventry v West Brom. So what you got for that one, Jack?
Cov West Brom, I have put down 2-0 to Coventry.
Popular score. So Jim's gone 3-1 to Coventry. And then Paul's gone 2-0. I've gone 2-0. And Jordan's gone 2-0.
This is ridiculous.
So-
League table's just not going to change.
Well, it depends if you get right score, doesn't it? I mean, it's crazy that I got sent them through by Paul, and I said to him straight away, our scores are very alike here. And I think it's because the games are quite stretched, aren't they? So you'll be able to.
You judge
No.
it on the league table, so it's not
Yeah.
it's not surprising. You
4
go
or
for-
5 people to get similar scores, though, is it's ridiculous.
I know, Joe, but it's you go for the popular result, don't you? 'Cause
Yeah, of course.
In one of these, there'll be a 4-0, and or there'll be a 0, which we never go for, do we? So
No.
it's hard to call. Let's have it right, especially with football at the minute.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like you said, Paul, this predictions, it's just a guessing game. Anyway. Yeah.
Would have thought it, eh?
Well,
the next
it's
game.
like that Morecambe game against York. They were 2-0 up, Morecambe. They lost 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-2. Yeah. So the next one is Paul's game, which was Arsenal v Spurs. So what are you going for, Jack?
I went 1-1 score draw.
Okay. So what we've got here is we've got Jim's gone 1-1. Paul's gone 2-1 to Arsenal. I've gone 2-0 to Arsenal. Jordan's gone 2-2. And you've gone 1-1. So that one could split us up a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe's gone for a Desmond Spurs. I think Spurs will get a point. Gabriel's out. Dreams can come true for Tottenham.
I looked at form table, and Tottenham are top of the away form table. So I thought, let's stick a 2 to it.
Gabriel's a big miss as well.
Yeah,
They've only
that's
conceded
what
5 goals this year, haven't they, Arsenal? They've only conceded 5. That's why I've gone 2-0. So, and the last game was picked by Jimmy, and it is Bolton v Bradford. He loves a Bradford game, doesn't he?
It does. I'm just going to say that
I wonder
myself.
why that is.
Yeah, he's
So,
Bradford's number 2, isn't he? Number 2 for him.
what you got, Jack?
So I went 3-1 to Bolton because they're tearing it up, but Bradford do tend to at least score.
Boys, can I stop you?
Correct.
Breaking
I was
news.
just going to say this. I know what you're going to say.
Breaking news. The Blades Ramble. Best club content creator football league silver award. We've got
Hey,
it.
well done.
Oh my god. Boys,
Brilliant. That's
how
superb.
I love that. Look at the cheesy grin. Oh my days. Oh,
Thoroughly,
Brilliant.
thoroughly deserved as well, Jim. Thoroughly
what a
deserved.
guy. Deary gosh. Deary me. That is quality. Oh, absolutely made up. Absolutely made up.
It's a lot
He's
of
gonna
hard
be
work.
buzzing with
A
that
lot
as
of
well.
hard work, that. He deserves it.
Yeah,
Silver
absolutely.
award,
Is it?
mate.
It's crazy.
It's not crazy, mate. It's real. To think that he's gone full
Brilliant.
time, the way this has
Tastes
gone.
like promotion.
Well,
I love that.
let's see how happy we are on Sunday, lads. Because Jordan,
We'll
me
see
and
how
you
happy you are.
could be on cloud 9. I tell you,
Could be. It
unbelievable.
certainly could be.
I'll just run through the results on the last one. So Bolton Bradford. Jim's gone 2-1 to Bolton, which is a shock. Paul's gone 2-0 Bolton. I've gone 2-1 Bolton. Jordan's gone 1-1. And of course, Jack's just gone 3-1. So that's all the scores in. The leaderboard is Jordan at the bottom with Paul on 11. Jim's in the middle on 12. The Ramblers are second on 15. and I'm at the top on 19, and I keep the scores. So that's not changing.
The football genius. That is all I can say.
Null and
It's
void,
bold,
that, isn't it? Tapering results after they come in.
Genius. That's all it is. Sorry, mate.
Football genius.
He knows the pitch like the back of his knee.
Does, mate, I know.
Apparently.
Where's that from anyway? Where do we get that?
Bold and brilliant.
That's bold on player.
Knows the pitch like the back of his knee. No need for hair, he's got strategy. Football genius, yeah. That's Bally. Jordan Mawson, the man on the mic, painting the match with a sound so right. Sheffield's pride, every fan can see. He's the voice of the Blades, their melody.
Oh, boys.
You managed to find it then.
Mate, it's all appeared. I'm telling you, it's all just appeared in front of me. Absolutely
The
spiffing.
Puhauser.
I'm able to literally give you the full repertoire. And I think Jimmy, because he's done it, I'm going to have to do mine.
This is the view from the mountain with a heart so pure it's astounding. Man mountain, strong and true. What a man, what a view.
So before we go, we've done it now, Jim. Everyone knows the tunes, right? Here we go. So congratulations to Jim. Again, I'm sure we all want to say some nice things about the channel and obviously the achievement and everything else. Absolutely superb. We're all so proud of him and so happy that we're able to come on and do this and the community and everything else. I know he's so proud of everything that's happened. We are too. There's good news all around. For us ramblers, I'll let Dave give you some his good news, but there's some good news for Dave as well. So there's good news that is going to come out over the next week or two. So yeah, happy times for the Blades. Hopefully after Sunday we'll know about that a lot more. I probably need to say a couple. There's loads of people giving their opinions on results. I'm not going to go through those. I do want to do this one at the bottom though. Jimmy deserves everything he gets, and props to the faces on stream and Dave the Nose for your part in it. Yeah, cheers, mate. A great achievement for Jimmy, especially and the Ramble community. Lewis, yeah, massive part of the channel now. Lewis, you might see more of him on the screen soon as well. So I think, and yeah, he's good with his words, is Lewis, and yeah, they're words we all agree with. Congrats, Jimmy, winning the award. Sorry, lads, the panel is going to be replaced soon with Jim White, Simon Jordan, Danny Murphy, and Alan Shearer. Simon Jordan, I'd love to get on here with him. I tell you, he's yeah. Anyway, I'll leave.
What about Don Goodman? You'd like to get him on here?
Oh, he's my favourite Don. I think he's secretly red and white, but
Don No Goodman is what I'd call him.
Oh,
What,
dear.
red and white as in Sunderland or?
Yeah, well, less said the better, I'd say. And then absolutely unreal achievement for Jimmy. It's a testament to all the hard work he puts in, fully deserved. Yes, thank you, March. Again, we agree, and I'm sure there'll be a stream coming very shortly about all of this. But no, we're mega proud to be part of it, and so thank you very much. And a good evening. Last one we're going to ask is, what do you think about Sunday, boys? Little prediction for us.
Go on, Jack. You can start off, mate.
Go on, Jack, hurry up, mate.
Oh, 4-0 Blaze.
Yep. Okay. Good one. We love that. Right. Very good. Go on then, Lee. Tell us more. Nice and quick.
2-0. I just fancy us to hold out in the first 30 when they come at us and just nick it. Well, not nick it 2-0, but see them off 2-0.
See him off. Like it. Go on, Joe. What are you saying?
I'm keeping it with resting us. I've changed my mind. 1-0 Blades.
1-0 to the Blades. I'm going to join you. I like to join. I'm going to join Jord with 1-0 Blades. I think it'll be a tight, nervy affair, but I think we'll just have a little bit too much.
If it's only 1-0, then who scores?
Patrick Bamford.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be Tyrese. I did think Danny Ings. I said 2-0 earlier in the week with Ings and Ings and Cal O'Hare, but I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling about Tyrese. Okay. Yep. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, everybody, for tuning in to your football therapy. We've enjoyed it, boys. I know there's going to be a lot of disagreements. I doubt there's anyone in the country who would come up with a top 10 in the same order. I think it's that subjective and that much about opinion. And yeah, we do apologise to any fans who know more about their derbies than we do and how fierce that is. But it's just our experience, our opinion. So yeah, it's nothing to get too upset about. That's for sure. And yeah, everyone's entitled. So thanks a lot for coming along, boys. It's been really, really good. And bring on Sunday, lads.
Yeah, man.
Oh yes, up the blades.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say that on this one, are we? But we'll do it.
Up the blades.
He definitely